Well, friends, this is Guruji Online, and today I have bring with this topic of electric current. In this chapter, we are going to study about electric current, what is junction law, what is current density, and what is basically drift speed. So this video is confined to electric current, junction law, current density, and drift speed. First, we are going to study about electric current. Electric current, everybody knows what is a current in day-to-day life. But let us see what is the scientific part behind this theory. We know that conductors, suppose this is a copper conductor, copper, and in this we know conducting electrons are there. These are free moving electrons. They they always remain present in the conductors. But is there any current if any conductor is lying like this? Because there are free electrons, that does not mean that they have any current inside this, because these conducting electrons, they are in random motion and their speed is of the order of 10 raised to 6 meter per second. But they are in random motion, and because of this there is no net flow in any direction. And if you take a small volume, there are billions of electrons will be there. So there is no basically net flow because of this random motion, and that's why we don't have any current if it is lying like this. Like you might have seen, if any wire is there, it does not have any current. But suppose what you do, suppose this is a conductor and you attach a battery with this conductor. This is the same copper wire. And if you attach a battery, then what will happen? Now you are making a bias, or you can say whatever random motion was there within these electrons, this motion is now aligned. And since this is at higher potential, this is at lower potential, this end of the battery is lower potential. So what will happen? These electrons will start flowing like this to positive terminal, because they will be attracted to positive terminal. So this is how a flow of electron will start. But this does not mean that this electron, which is suppose at this point, this comes with this much amount of speed to this terminal. Basically what it does, since there are billions of electrons, they collide, and this electron will collide to its adjacent electron, and this is how they move. And that's why, though the speed of the electron is of this much of order, but the drift speed with which the current flows is very low. That we will talk about when we will study about drift speed. So this is how a flow of electrons develops within the conductor. Now, at this stage, we will talk about this direction also. Though the electrons, they are negatively charged, they are moving in this anti-clockwise direction. But generally, actually, the direction of the current is denoted by the positively charged carriers. Positively charged carriers. So, in practice, we denote the direction of the current in the opposite direction of the movement of the electrons. So, that's why we will show the direction of the current like this. Correct? So, this is the direction of the current, because we generally show the positive carriers, because since this is positively charged and this is negatively charged, this battery, so this electric field will be from positive to negative. This is the direction of the electric field, and I also is also in the same direction, whereas movement of the electron will always be in this direction. So what is basically current? Suppose dq charge flows in dt time, then current I is defined as dq divided by dq, means charge per unit time. Your total charge will be nothing but I into dt if you take the integral of this. This I is basically, or it is current is denoted by I, and its unit is ampere. SI unit is ampere, and 1 ampere is nothing but 1 coulomb per second. So electric current, it's very easy to understand. Direction of the current is taken with the positively charged carriers. This is which is against the flow of the electron, and it is denoted by I, and it is basically dq by dt, that is charge per unit time. This is the basically definition of the current. Another thing, if you say, suppose this is a conductor with varying cross-sectional area, then I will always remain, whether through all the cross sections, whatever it is, at whatever fashion you take, everywhere I will remain same. And this is called conservation of current. Now, suppose your current I is moving like this, and if it is divided like this, I2 and I3, okay, then because of conservation of current, I1 will always be equal to I2 plus I3. This is means at any junction, input current will always be equal to the sum of the output currents. So this is called your junction law. Junction. Now one more important thing is there. Suppose you have a conductor and cross-sectional area is like this. As you have seen in the conductor, this current remains same at every place. Suppose if you want to study within the cross section area, what happens to the I? Whether here I will be the same as what is here, or in this cross section area, is it the same as in the outer this cross section area, like that. So for this we have to study about current density. Let us see what is current density. Current density is basically your current density is denoted by J. It is basically current divided by area. Whatever current is moving within this conductor, suppose this is I and this is the cross section area. So this divided by area will give the current density. Current per unit area is, or we can write it as I is equal to integral J vector divided into dot dA. The direction of J and direction of dA vector, they are in the same direction. As I told you, area vector, the direction of area vector is perpendicular to the plane of the area. Correct? So here within the conductor, like this, it is I, suppose I is flowing like this, then your J direction will also be like this, current density direction will also be like this, and suppose this is the plane of the area, then direction of this area vector will also be like this. So this I is nothing but, you can say, J into dA or JA, or J is nothing but I upon A. So this is your current density. Suppose you have a conductor like this, whose area is tapering. Hmm? You might have seen the streamline flow. You must have studied. These lines will be like this. So, though in this conductor, everywhere current remains same. But what about J? J, here you see the streamlines. Here the lines are closely spaced. So naturally, density is, current density is more. Current density here is more in comparison to this area. Hmm? Okay. So current density changes like this. So and it depends on the area. Hmm? So that's why that's what I told you, that suppose in the cross section area, suppose this is the area, this is the total cross section area of the conductor. If you take a small area here, Z will remain same throughout this cross sectional area, but Z into this area, J into this area will give you the current, magnitude of the current in this cross section, small cross section area. Okay, suppose if you want to take the current within this area, outer small shell area, Then you just calculate this area multiplied by J will give you the magnitude of the current here. Here it will be I1, either it will be I2, like that. Within the cross section area of the conductor, I changes, but with respect to length, the I remains the same and it is always conserved. Otherwise, your junction law will not be true. Now let us talk about drift speed. It is denoted by Vd. As I told you, electrons, they have a random motion of the order of 10 raised to 6. But here, Vd is generally of the order of only 10 raised to minus 5 to 10 raised to minus 4 meter per second. So when the conductor, when it does not have any current, the conduction electrons move randomly, and there is no net motion in any direction. Whereas when the conductor has current, then what happened? These electrons actually start moving, or basically this movement is called drifting. They start drifting with the drift speed Vd, correct? And this drift speed is again electrons, they are moving in, suppose, in the against the direction of the current, because we have taken the current as a positively charged carrier's direction. So drift speed is also direction is denoted by Vd only, because it is also taken with the positively charged carrier. Means it is against the movement of the electron. To understand its this thing, let us, this is a conductor, these are positively charged carrier particles. Then suppose direction of the current is like this, means your electrons are moving in this direction. Then your I will be denoted by in this direction, and your Vd will also be in this direction. Your electric field will also be in this direction, and of course your J, that is current density, will also be in this direction. This all have uniformity. Now we will see how this Vd is calculated. Suppose you have a conductor and take this much of length of this conductor. Cross section area is A, and suppose you have N carriers. Per unit volume. So naturally, how much total number of carriers will be there? N into A, L. These will be number of carriers will be there, and what would be the charge into E, and this will be the charge stored in this portion. Correct? There is no doubt about it. Now, suppose this carrier moves from this point to this point in time t, then with drift velocity Vd, then Vd will be nothing but L upon T, or you can say time will be L upon Vd. I we have already defined charge per unit time. That means N A L E divided by T. L upon T is nothing but Vd. You can write it as A E into Vd, and this is your I. Hmm? Or we can write this Vd as I upon N E A. And what is this? This is nothing but current density. So we can write it as J is equal to N E into Vd. This is a vector quantity and this is also a vector quantity. And what is this? This is basically charge. That is Coulomb per unit, or you can say per meter cube. Okay, Coulomb per meter cube. This is the unit of this NE. J and Vd, they are in the same direction if positive charge carriers are there, and J and Vd are in opposite direction if negative charge carrier. Means negative charge carrier, they are in opposite direction. Positive charge carrier, if we consider them, they are in the same direction. So this was all about today. So this was all about your current, charge density, current density, sorry, and drift speed. Here, what is important is basically I and its direction, and that is taken with positive charge carrier. Here it's a vector quantity, and closeness of streamlines will tell you about the density, where it is more and where it is same. Means in a conductor, I will be same throughout, but charge density according to the area it can be different. I is equal to J upon A, and of course we talked about drift speed, what is and how we can find out. So this was all about these three topics. Now we will meet again with the next topic of resistance. What is resistance, resistivity, conductivity, and when the resistance are series and parallel, like all those things we will talk about in our next video. I hope you like this video, and if you like this video, please do subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.